Hey everyone, Pete from KnifeUp.com here. Thanks for joining me today. If you guys have been following any of my videos recently, you'll know that I've made a visit to the Ontario Knife Company in New York recently. So I do have a lot of videos about Ontario Knife Company. Believe me, more are coming on different companies. I'm not promoting them or anything, but they are a good company. Today what I'd like to do is to do a quick review for you guys. One of the knives I picked up when I was there, it's called the Hunt Plus Camp Knife. And it's just kind of a unique knife. I'll share my thoughts with you on that knife coming up right now. Okay, the Ontario Knife Company Hunt Plus Camp Knife. So first impressions, the sheath is nothing super duper amazing. It is a Chinese made product, but I was thrilled to see that it actually is pretty sturdy. I mean, it's just a thick nylon, but it does the trick. It works pretty well. Okay, so let's take it out of there. Okay, so my first impression when I first saw this knife, I'm thinking, okay, this thing looks a lot like a kitchen knife. It's a decent looking kitchen knife, but seriously, is it meant for camping, for the campsite? And I was assured that it was made for that purpose. And when you pick it up, you get the feel for it that it's not a kitchen knife. The thickness of the blade, it's pretty thick actually. It's about 3/16 of an inch across here. The length overall of the entire knife is 11 inches. And the blade is officially, this part here is officially 6 inches. It's actually a tiny bit longer. The hardness of it, it's kind of important because you're using this all around for the camp. You're using it for batoning and pretty much anything else you can think of, skinning and even doing delicate work with food potentially. So the hardness is 55 to 57. If you're familiar with the Rockwell hardness scale, basically the higher the number, the harder it is. An axe, which isn't too hard, is somewhere around 50, and then something really hard is somewhere in the 60s, and this is 55 to 57. So it's decent. It's not super hard, but it's decent. This particular material, stainless steel, the handle is another really kind of an interesting part of this. It's not a thick handle, as you can see. It's really 3/4 of an inch or so at the thickest right here. And the interesting thing about this is that it's not meant to be fancy. I was talking to them at the Ontario Knife Company, the sales guys, and they're like, no, what we did was we made a really good knife for a really good price point. And the reason, the way they could do that is that they made a common handle to the whole Hunt Plus series. There's multiple knives in the Hunt Plus series. This is one of them. And what they did was they made a full tang, so right to the back here, and it has a skeleton, or he called it a skeleton full tang, so it just means that there's holes in the metal, in the handle, and this material, the rubber handle, it's like a hard rubber, it goes right through, so there's no chance that this will slide off or twist. So that's kind of a neat thing. The weight of the knife is around 7 ounces. I guess the takeaway on this is that it's not meant at all to be a collector's, really nice knife like, a lot of knives out there in the $700–800 range, even more expensive, with Damascus steel. Not this one. This one is a utilitarian knife meant for you to use at the campsite. And the handle is very modest. It doesn't look fancy. It's not some sort of fancy material, but it feels very comfortable. It's got a great place for your fingers. Everything feels quite nice. There's no sort of even minor issue that I can feel, other than if you want to really get technical, you can say that the thickness of the blade doesn't allow you to get a really good kind of chunky feel in your hand, where you want it to maybe take up a little bit more width to give it a more substantial feel, but that's such a minor issue. You've got more than enough grip on here to do anything you need to do on the campsite. So anyways, that's just a quick overview of what I think about this knife. I could probably talk about it for another half hour if I wanted to really break it down and talk about the, the bevel, the angles of the blade, and all kinds of other little details about, the comfort level and that sort of thing. But I'm thinking this is everything that I just told you is about what I would like people to tell me if I was looking for a knife. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. You can, of course, you can always subscribe to the channel just to see what else I have to say about knives. Hopefully you get some information out of this, and there's lots of other information online too. Hopefully I can be part of it. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.